U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen making a stop in Atlanta today. It was to discuss how her department is cracking down on fentanyl trafficking.
That's right. This is a new initiative she says was successful in severing several members of the Mexican cartel from their funds. She says it's an important step in curbing the impacts of the opioid crisis. 11 Alive's Karis Belger actually heard from Secretary Yellen today. So, Karis, why did she want to make this announcement here in Atlanta?
Well, according to several local and federal law enforcement agents we heard from, the cartel had operations here in Metro Atlanta, and U.S. Secretary of the Treasury Janet Yellen described how her department leveraged sanctions against people accused of trafficking fentanyl into the U.S. During a stop in Atlanta Thursday, U.S. Secretary of the Treasury Janet Yellen discussed more than money.
The president and I will do everything we can to combat this crisis.
Flanked by representatives from local and federal law enforcement agencies, Yellen described her department's work in sanctioning 8 members of the La Nueva Familia Michoacana cartel. According to officials, the organization, which originated in Mexico, is responsible for trafficking fentanyl and other dangerous substances across the United States, including into Georgia.
Following the money is essential to combating crimes like fentanyl trafficking. And it is what IRS criminal investigation special agents do best.
A partnership formed with Secretary Yellen's department late last year was the basis for this operation, says Special Agent in Charge Demetrius Hardiman. Yellen explained she plans to use the same tools to work with banks in the U.S. and abroad to track potentially illegal financial transactions and severing those who commit crimes from the funds they need to operate.
They rely on access to banking systems and to the U.S. dollar to make payroll and finance purchases. And this means the Treasury Department has a unique ability to disrupt and degrade their operations. We're particularly focused on 2 areas related to today's actions: sanctions and partnerships with financial institutions.
To bring down other members of drug cartels in hopes of preventing future fentanyl overdoses.
Far too many families and communities across the United States are losing their loved ones to opioids. And while this is first and foremost a heartbreaking personal loss, it's also a loss for our country.
Now, Yellen was here to tout the success of the Treasury Department's initiative, but I was also able to ask her about the Biden administration's economic policies, especially as it pertains to the domestic economy. In fact, we've reported on how everyday Georgians are concerned about the rising cost of things like groceries. Yellen did tell me that President Biden has made affordability a priority and will continue to do so. Back to you.
Karis, thank you.